to the music scene, showing lots of love for the community. With great advice, I know who I should go see. So all around town radio show. That's where I go for the latest planned info. So all around town radio show for the music that comforts my soul. It's the all around town radio.
Welcome to the program, everybody. It is Monday after a long holiday weekend. Oh, my goodness, are we tired today? Tell them what's coming this week. Mark Robinson from Sweet Sister Mercy here doing our theme song. What are we doing?
It's the weekend review.
Hot topic.
Coming for you. Speaking with the fans, sometimes they don't show well. Whatever, man. We're coming who's playing out off the open jam with the who's who of talent. Come Friday night, ready to raise some hell.
All right, there we go. Hi, Glenn, checking in on our YouTube channel. Thank you. Ray Renee in the house of That One Party Band. John Dale from the Gamut is with us today. Thank you, John. JD, as he likes to be called. It is. Hey, welcome to the broadcast, vlog, podcast, whatever the hell you want to call it. I don't even know what it's called. But we're doing it, as Dewey said, ready to raise some hell. Don't think you heard that a lot. You ought to see the real lyrics to that. If you haven't seen all of them, they're great. Sweet Sister Mercy did a great job of that. And we appreciate them. Rob Nadler in the studio mixing that one down also for us. Lee Dixon in the house. How you doing, Lee? Thank you so much for being here. We're going to talk about his band here in a minute. Jim McCarthy says hello to the haters. That's right. It's All Around Town Radio. That's our little acronym. And boy, we got a few haters. We do. And it's getting better and better every day. Hi, Ed Sawicki. How are you? Good to have you with us. Johnny Fink in the house. We're going to be talking about him as well. Great to see you over the weekend, Johnny. Wow, what a show. That's all I got to say. Wow, we're going to talk about it too today. Hi, Bonnie. Thank you for joining us today. If you're out there, guys, and you haven't said hi yet, drop us a little hello in the comments. And if you're new to the show, tell us where you're from. We'd love to hear from you today here at All Around Town Radio. We do it every Monday. It's called our Weekend Update on Backstage Hall Pass here. And we had a great weekend of live local music to share with you. And we're going to get right into it here. First of all, let's talk about, wow. You know, I was on a soapbox last week about, I get these messages from the actual official Facebook, not all the other crap that gets sent to you saying you violated this and they want you to click on a link and all those spammers. But I keep getting slowed down in the feed, and they tell us that our theme song is copywritten, and they tell all this stuff. It's all BS, but it's all computerized. You can't talk to a human being. It takes months to talk to a human being on the Book of Face. So we had 2.4 thousand views on Thursday's show. Again, normally between 3,000 and 4,000. It's frustrating. It is. And it's not getting pushed out there. People say, I didn't see your show this week. Did you do it? And we did do it early in that defense, but it's just the way it works. And, I put out things there today. I had like 3 likes on pictures from events. And, you're tagging people in them and all that. And it's just the way it works. So if there were another platform that had as many people on it, I'd be there. But we're on YouTube as well, guys, if you want to be on YouTube. And for that matter, if you're not familiar with it, our audio is going on Spotify this week. So you'll be able to hear these audio versions. Watch for it on Spotify if you just want to hear it and not have to see it, because I got a face for radio. Ed Sawicki, how are you, my buddy? Good to have you here. Who else is here? Bill, I got to see you Saturday night. It was good to see you. Bob Klein in the house. Hi, Bob. Eric Sears from the Kevin McCoy Band has joined the party. Thank you, Eric, for dropping by today. I didn't get a chance to see you on the Wednesday before Thanksgiving this year. I usually try to make that one, but had another event that we went to and missed you at Mr. Burroughs there, Eric. Sorry about that one. Bonnie, what's going on? Seven West has joined the party. We're talking about him coming up here in just a few minutes. Bill Aldred in the house. And Jeff Morris, thank you and greetings to you on this Monday here. Gloomy Monday. Cold. We're into that bitter Ohio gray, cold, yuck, sucks, everything. I'm not an Ohio fan in the winter. I'm not. Hey, so let's get it going. Let's talk about what we saw this week. Thank you for being here. Don't forget to follow us on all the socials, Instagram, Facebook, X, and of course, YouTube, TikTok even. We're on TikTok. I have not posted on TikTok yet. We have a TikTok page, whatever the hell it's called, but we haven't posted there yet. We'll do that sometime. I'll do it. Seven says it's a cold one. And Seven and Lee, I messaged you guys about some names of people in the band. So as we talk about you here, throw them in the comments, if you will, today. I'd love to have that. Hi, Greg. Thank you for dropping by. Good to see you, my friend. So let's talk about our weekend. Long weekend, big bar night on Wednesday night. Lots of people playing, many choices for everybody to go see music. And it was a killer night everywhere. I mean, everywhere you saw was full of people and packed out. We do something every year here at All Around Town Radio. We go and follow this group of Dayton musicians who do for lack of a better term, I'll call it a reenactment. They replay the band's Last Waltz. And if you're not familiar with the band, Robbie Robertson and company, get familiar. And there's a Martin Scorsese film out there about it, about the Last Waltz, titled that. And they put on the exact same thing. And let's see who's Ronald saying, yeah, it was wonderful. And always good to see you. And such a night, the Last Waltz. It was fantastic. And they do it every year. And they've had some issues with venues of late, like where they were going to have it and all that. And I've seen it in many different places. I've seen it at the Dayton Art Institute. I've seen it at, the Masonic Temple. And this year they were in the historic Victoria Theater in Dayton. Wow. What a cool venue to do it in. And it was fun. And Dayton Live helped put that on this year, and they did a great job with production. The sound was good. Last year it was a little tougher. Some of the sound issues went on last year. It was a little tougher to hear. This year it was fantastic. And hi, Cricket. Thank you for dropping in. I don't have the noise up right now, Cricket, or I'd throw it in there. So let's talk about this Such a Night, the Last Waltz. They did one show this year at the Victoria. And hi, Tom. Thank you for dropping by. Good to see you. And what a night it was. Such a night, as they said. And, if you're not familiar with it, you won't know what I'm talking about, but you'll be familiar with a couple of the songs that were in there. The band, Phil Cavanis, Patrick Himes, Steve Phelps, Rich Reuter, Jimmy D. Rogers, amazing player, Jimmy Rogers is. Trey Stone, the horn section, Kevin Court, Luke Grishop, Dan Herford, Gary King. Gary King and I produced a record at Rephrase Studio. Gosh, how many years ago was it? Like in the early 80s. And I got the chance to sit at the board and do the songs and such in the studio there at Rephrase. Gary King, saw him playing trombone. He plays it every year in this band. Eric Knorr, Tim Olt, and Jason Swan. It's produced by Jeff Ott in coordination with WYSO. And this thing is an incredible production on stage of a variety of local players and so many people that roll in there. And I've got names of who comes out. Chris Blank, man, she rocks. She is an amazing player. She did Who Do You Love, which is in that. If you guys aren't familiar with some of it, up on Cripple Creek, Martin says Gary is the man. Yeah, I've got a picture hanging in the studio up here, actually, of Gary King and I sitting at the board at Rephrase on the back of an album. It's the liner notes and such in the back of the album. So pretty cool stuff. Love Gary King, man. He was an amazing producer back in those days, and I know he's a great player. Bob Weber, thank you for joining us. So, Up on Cripple Creek, one of the songs from the band there that were so good in this, but there's so many others that are thrown in there. The first act, the first set before the intermission, includes Up on Cripple Creek, includes The Weight, if you know that. Take a Load Off, you know that song. But the night they drove Old Dixie down, done by David Payne, amazing. Gosh, who else was in here? I've got to look. There are so many people. Nick Mitchell, our friend Nick Mitchell, who got up and sang Helpless in the first act with Paige. What is her last name? Is it Butler? I can't see. Paige Beller. I'm sorry. I got to get my eyes fixed. But I'm looking at the program right now, actually, guys. I did not have time to write it all down, but on the prompter. Big show, wonderful stuff. The band itself, the house band playing along, does a fantastic job at this event. Songs like Ophelia, Caledonia, Jimmy Rogers just absolutely killed. Let's see. Amber Hargett was up there. Who else do we have local? Seth Gilliam, I'm sorry. And then it's just cool. I mean, it's just cool. And, just some really good stuff and really good people. Rag Mama Rag. I can throw all those songs in there that were done in the band's last waltz. And really a fun production every year. So if you haven't had a chance to see that, do that. Jim McCarthy throwing in a plug in there. I saw friends in Chicago also perform it. Okay, there you go. And yeah, it is cool. And a lot of people do it on the eve. We got a chance to go down to Nashville and see the last waltz done one year. And Robbie Robertson, actually, before he died this year, was on the stage that night and singing along with Jamie Johnson, Darius Rucker, Alison Krauss. That was at Nationwide Arena. It was a massive crowd there for that. And the same thing, playing all the band's last waltz in its entirety. And just so much fun. Manish Boy, man, that was good too, by Gary Williams. Just cool. It is. And then they came out with everybody at the end and did I Shall Be Released. And that's a very poignant moment Bob got to say here. Yeah. And that really, Bob, the house band stays up the entire time pretty much. They rotate keyboard players and things a few times, rotate out and some of that. But for the most part, the band stays on stage. The horn section comes up and down depending on the song. And then the other folks who step in a lot of times are playing an instrument as well, playing guitar or something to that effect. I mean, there's a violin player, a fiddle player. There's just ton of people. So the house band is amazing there. And it's a lot to put on because it's a big production of, rotating people in and out and a lot of moving parts there. Sound production and lighting did a great job of that. So that was what we got to say about our Friday night, or I'm sorry, our Wednesday night. It sounded like it was Friday because it was the night before the holiday, and a wonderful time there at the Victoria. Yes. And Rob Lynch, I've neglected to mention him playing harp. And he was fantastic. It was great to watch him on stage as well. And he got out there and he made it happen, man. And it was good. It was just good. That's all you can say about that night. And it's a great way to kick off the holiday weekend. And thank you, Jim McCarthy, for that comment as well. So I'm going to keep rolling through our week, guys. If you saw somebody play and you didn't get it posted on our page, we'd love to hear from you today. So drop it in the comments, if you will. If you saw somebody play over this big, long, extended holiday weekend, we would love to hear from you because that's what we're here to do, is promote live local music and the bands and venues that bring it to you. So today is National Cyber Monday, by the way. So get on your computer and order something, I guess. But, buy local, people. Buy local. That's what we like to do. Buy local if you can. All right, I want to roll on into Friday night. Let me hit up Friday here real quick. The boys from Denim Deluxe. Got to see Denim Deluxe on Friday night at Mr. Burroughs Tavern. Yeah, Dewey says Cyber Mondays. Yeah, I kind of love like Black Friday when they mark it up 40% to drop it 40%. And the same thing applies, I think, on Cyber Monday. There are some deals out there, though. I mean, there are. If you're looking for something specific, always look it up. But yeah, I'm not here to sell Amazon stuff today. No. All right. Let's talk about this wonderful night of Friday night. Denim Deluxe. I've been wanting to see them for a long time. This is a group of people who absolutely have been talked about a lot, and in a good way. They have put together this band. They have been booking solid. They're getting a lot of hype in the music community for what they're doing. And Seven, it was great to see you, my friend. Always good to see you. I've known Seven West since he was a young pup on the stage playing, at places when I was working there, like JD Legends and such. And Seven's a good dude, and he's a great player, great vocalist, and always enjoy seeing Seven shows. And he has grown so much since I've been watching him, from a timid young man on the stage to a performer, man. And he put on a good show on Friday night. He was into it. He works the crowd. And the band with him is a bunch of pros, let me tell you. Bunch of pros. Seven, drop the name of the bass player in, if you will, and the keyboard player for me again, so I don't mess it up, if you will, in the comments. I'd appreciate that. Hi, Don. Thank you for dropping in. How you been? Good to see you. Floyd and the Walkman, Donkey Shades, and that one party band, Zazu. Thank you. That's who he saw this weekend. So let me talk about Denim Deluxe, man. They, yeah. Yeah. I was happy to see this band put together. Now, there's a guy that's on there with the rest of the band. Catfish Campbell playing the drums. Lee Dixon up front on guitar, and arguably one of the best frontman guitar players in the whole area. Lee is a beast on that guitar. And one thing I love about Lee is he has so much fun. And the other thing I noticed that you may not have seen in the past with different groups and different people, and not just these guys I'm talking about, but just other folks. There's a connection in this band on stage between Seven and Lee that is unique. It's you can tell they care about each other, they care about the band, and they care about putting on a good product, and they did. And here's what we got here. Seven dropping in. Yeah, Daniel Lucas on keys, and got a few pictures of him playing keys, and Brad Bellamy on bass. There you go. And now Brad is not their normal bass player, I don't believe. Brad was filling in that night, but you would have never known it, that he hasn't been their solid bass player the entire time. Hi, Carrie. Thank you for dropping by. And one thing I really enjoyed about this group was the energy they put forth in the room. Now, there were people there. They had the floor up dancing. They had people having a good time, whether they were slow dancing to some of the slower stuff or, up there shaking what they got to some of the other stuff. It was so much fun. And Seven, your growth as a front man is absolutely fantastic. You have stepped up there. You're something to watch. You used to be that crooner who would stand on stage. He'd stand there and not have a lot of emotion in what he did, and that he would just play his songs and play them beautifully. But now he puts on a show, and I love to see that. And again, you won't find any better with, Catfish back there hitting the drums and doing his thing as well. Seven says Kevin Colwell is their official bass player, but Brad did a stellar job. He did a stellar job. So one thing about Mr. Burroughs is they see a lot of good music at Mr. Burroughs, and sometimes the crowd certainly, how do I put this? They like good music, and if it's not good music, they voice it. And when I walked in, all the people I talked to, all I heard was this band is great. They're doing a great job. This band is fantastic. Back in the back talking to my friend Jeff, and Jeff was like, I've never seen these guys, yet they look familiar. And some of them may look familiar from other projects they were in and such. So absolutely smoking it at Mr. Burroughs Tavern. Great job. So if you haven't had a chance, hit that little like and follow button on Denim Deluxe, and then go see a show. I have waited way too long to see one of their shows. They've been playing a lot of outlying places, and I don't drive long distances at night. Y'all know that. I've said all that, but I try not to. And I've missed out on seeing them play, and I was so happy they were in my backyard at Mr. Burroughs Tavern. So we made a night of it there, had a great time, enjoyed ourselves with the wonderful sounds of Seven and Lee singing, and Catfish singing some songs as well. Play a variety of country music and rock. Seven, how would you describe that music? What would you call it? Because it's, if somebody asks you what kind of music do you play, because it was everywhere. I'd like to know how you describe that if you could. And Seven did an interview with us about stage presence once. Yes, I think so. I think he was involved in that. And if I remember correctly, Dewey, you're asking me to use my brain today. That's hard on a Monday post holiday. Glenn said he stayed home this weekend, had a wardrobe malfunction. His stage clothes rack fell over. Wow, that's not good. Not good there, Mr. Wanderers. And Lee, you're welcome, man. I can't tell you. I was just so happy to see the energy and the smiles on the stage, and you guys having a good time. And always country with a kick is what Seven's going to call it. Okay, I'll take that. Because that's really what it is. And there's a lot of great 90s country songs in there they're throwing in, and just a whole lot of good stuff. And Lee, I want to say, anytime you're up front with a band, I don't care who I've seen you play with, even if it's just in the setting of you and someone else as a duo, you make it, man. You're the guy that interacts with the crowd, and you're one hell of a stage announcer and ambassador for the venue and the band, and I love that. You talk a lot. Thank you for injecting some lyrics, Seven, that included All Around Town. I appreciate that as well, I think. And Lee, always thank you for the shout out, man. It's appreciated every time I see you. You're giving our show here a big shout out. So thank you so much. Mr. Burroughs having a great night there on Friday night, as always. Their staff does a great job, and the crowd in there was having some fun. So it was good to see you guys. And I did not grab a set list or anything, but we're going to have Denim Deluxe on the show. So you get a chance to see what they do, and they'll tell you some of the songs that they cover that everybody loves. And they have a good time. I mean, obviously, one of my favorites, Seven, doing the dance, Garth Brooks tune, and he slays that. So it's a great time. Thank you so much, guys. We appreciate you there for being there. What's Kenneth got to say? Hey, Kenneth, how are you, man? Good to see you. I know they had a big show this weekend, or kicking off the holiday as well. And Bob Klein, The Gods at King of Clubs was a killer show. Thank you, Bob. I got to come see Bob play sometime. I do. I want to go see you play, Bob. Bob's a good dude. He puts a lot of input into the show, and we appreciate that. So as we're winding down our weekend in review here, let me talk about Saturday. And I don't want to discount Saturday at all. And Saturday, man, wow. Hidden Gem Music Club in Centerville, Ohio. If you haven't been there, it's a big venue. It's a big room. It is. Formerly known as several nightclubs back in the day. And it is called the Hidden Gem because it's basically behind a plaza. And that's interesting as well. And it is a hidden gem and have some great music there. We kicked off that night with Reese Shelton. And I'd never seen Reese Shelton play. He was solo. This kid is 19 years old, bluesy, fantastic player and singer. I was wowed by him. And I was sitting with some friends, and Michelle and Craig Brandt, who were there, and they follow the blues community so much. And their insight, I always appreciate their insight into things. And Michelle was telling me what a talent Reese was before he played. I got to say, she was spot on with that. Reese Shelton, man, solo act, killing it. I know Ed Sawicki knows him, and some other people out there who are involved heavily in the blues community know this young man. And I guess he's been playing a long time. I don't know how I missed him. He does look familiar, like I've seen him maybe in some other project before or something, but he did a great job solo of opening the night there at the Hidden Gem. I think he played a 40-minute set that he got up there and did a great job. Just fantastic. So look up Reese Shelton. I don't think he has an official band page, but he has a page on the Book of Face, and he puts his stuff. And Johnny says Reese plays guitar in the Brad Hatfield Blues Band. Well, that makes sense. That's probably where I've seen him before then. It probably is back in the day or such. And thank you for that, Johnny Fink. And Martin says that as well. Thank you, Martin. And Martin, I missed seeing you play this weekend. He was there. I thought, well, Martin's playing. He wasn't playing, but he was just hanging out. And that's good to see other musicians supporting other musicians. And let me talk about the first act after Reese. Reese opened the night, and then the Johnny and Gina band. What more can I say about the Johnny and Gina band other than what has been said? Thank you, Herman, for recommending Denim Deluxe. That's what it's about here. Thank you for that. Great comment. Thank you so much. I'm going to say Gina and Johnny that night. Gina always comes first, okay? Gosh, amazing talent. Let me throw some of the songs at you here. Chain of Fools, Pusher Man, The Letter, Free Your Soul, So Long, Natural Woman. I got the set list, Johnny. I do. Can't Stand the Rain thrown in there. Unbelievable. What else? Bobby McGee, Gravity, Proud Mary, Hurts So Bad, The Thrill Is Gone, The Chain, Fleetwood Mac stuff. But the highlight of the night, people, and no offense to the band who stepped off the stage other than it just Gina and Johnny up there, but the highlight of the night was a duo with Gina and Johnny doing Hallelujah. I've heard Gina and Johnny do this before, but this was magical. This was magical. Bill is saying Hallelujah on fire. It was. Gina and Johnny, great players, great band. Thank you, Martin. Let me say, when I say somebody took us to church, and you know, I always joke about Gina McCann having a voice like butter with cayenne pepper sprinkled on it because she's soulful, she's raspy, she's everything rolled into one, not to mention a humble, beautiful person that she is. Just a genuinely nice person. And you'll never find anyone that's more personable, I think, than Gina McCann. She is just wonderful. And the neat thing about it is, yes, and Johnny threw a link in there. Watch it after the show, guys. There's a link in the comments of a YouTube, and that's probably Bill's link, maybe, that had the video of Gina and Johnny singing Hallelujah. You could have heard a pin drop in this venue with all the people that were in there, not a soul. And I watched the room while that was going on, and you know, somebody must have sprayed that cayenne pepper in the room because lots of people were doing this as she was singing and Johnny was playing and singing with her. This must have been allergies. It must have been allergy season because they brought everybody to tears. Our friend Michelle's sitting there who she said the same thing. She had never heard Gina sing before. She's followed the blues community a lot. And she was wowed by Gina's voice in that song and every other song they did. Not to mention the Gina and Johnny band is just top-notch musicians. They are cool. And Johnny, if you will, throw in the comments the names of your bandmates there, if you will, because I want everybody to see that if you can. If you're still watching. And Greg said Ashley Knapp band was at the Barrel Saturday night. Thank you for that, Greg. I'm sure that was a great show. But, you know, they do some really cool stuff and a lot of Johnny's guitar licks that are thrown in there that are just powerful, like on Proud Mary. God, I mean, killing it. Bobby McGee, the same way. Really, it's just a quality act, folks. It's a wonderful thing. Mike Grosser on bass. Yes, Roger Bates on drums. I want to make sure we talk about them. Gina McCann on vocals, obviously, and tambourine, and the best looking one in the band. And then Johnny Fink on guitars and vocals. Y'all know Johnny Fink. If you don't know Johnny Fink, you've had your head in the sand for a long time because he's one of the top players in the entire region. And Johnny Fink, class act as well. I didn't get a chance to say bye to you. I don't know. We didn't cross paths at the end, but it was great to see a lot of people there. Saw Donnie Perry there from the Bell and the Bear. Bill hanging out. Just a whole lot of people. Culture Asylum Productions was in the house. There was a lot of people there that night having fun with Gina and Johnny. And then the Doug Hart Band, who ended up the night. And Bill's got three of their songs on his YouTube channel. So Bill, that's Bill's name right there. You can follow him on YouTube, or Bill, you can put the link in the comment if you'd like. Always like sharing your link. And yes, Johnny, I'll take that $20 in small bills, please. Small bills. Okay. Thank you. Love Johnny Fink, man. Another one of those nice people to hang around. And it's another connection that I've made through the Bell and the Bear. And I got to say that too. I've got to give props to my friend Karis, who has my back at everything we do, and really is a great supporter of what we do here. And she's introduced me and made that connection with so many people there. And it was good. Ed said he would have loved to have been there. He was in Buffalo, New York for the weekend. Well, I'm glad you enjoyed yourself on a trip, Bill. Or Bill, I see Bill's comment popping up too. It's wonderful to spend time on the holidays with your family and friends and all the things people got to do. It was neat to get out and see people there that you wouldn't normally see, that are kind of home for the weekend and out and about, going and seeing live local music because they love the live music scene. And Hidden Gem did a great job of putting this show on. They have a big room there. And anytime they have an event, especially some of these blues events, check it out there. If you're in the Dayton area, because so often the blues events are a little further south. And if you're up in Dayton area, Hidden Gem's done a great job of bringing the blues and other genres to the stage there. And they do a wonderful, wonderful job. And now they have food too. And they were turning out the pizzas like it was going out of style on Friday night or Saturday night. I mean, good stuff. Good stuff. So thank you to Gina and Johnny. I want to talk about the Doug Hart Band. And if you've not seen the Doug Hart Band again, you've had your head in the sand. Doug Hart, another one of those phenomenal local players who brings it every time he's on stage. His blend of Southern bluesy rock and powerhouse vocals. And what was up with that bass player lead that night? Did anybody else see that? The lead bass solo, left-handed to boot. Oh my God. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Bill, there's Bill's link. Thank you so much. The YouTube channel. If you want to check out any of those videos, and certainly watch the one. If you only watch one, watch Hallelujah, because it was a showstopper. I mean, Gina could have dropped the mic and walked off and went in her car and left. I mean, she blew the roof off the place in that song, and so did Johnny. Just so good. And I love that the crowd was so into it. And Rob Thaxton, yes, thank you, Johnny. He is a beast on bass, man. He was playing it. And Craig Gomer back there on drums. I mean, Doug Hart, always a phenomenal player. And yes. And Bill got that on video. Is it on your page, Bill? Because I want to go watch that. I was a little distracted. Some people were talking to me in that, so I didn't get a chance to hear all of it. So I would love to see it in its entirety if it's on your YouTube channel. For real, for real. So, yeah, Doug Hart, what can I say about him? I mean, he's playing some great music and absolutely blowing it away. Thank you, Bill. I'll go check that out as soon as we're done, man. Thank you so much. And that's what we got today, people. That was our weekend in music. And thanks to the Hidden Gem, thanks to Mr. Burroughs Tavern on Friday, thanks to the Victoria Theater, the historic Victoria Theater in Dayton Live, for putting on that show. And I think it was their 17th one in a row, other than COVID time. They took a break, called Such a Night, The Last Waltz Live. How cool. It was so much fun. I want to thank all the local musicians who make it happen each week and get out there and give us the entertainment that we all desire so much, because music is healing. It is. And it's for the soul. And I appreciate you all and those who play out every week in the venues that bring it to you. And remember, on Thursdays, guys, I'll throw a shameless plug in for what we do here every Thursday. The list called Who's Playing Out. It's the best musicians and venues in the tri-state. We've got it on a list. We bring it to you live on Thursday at 5, and then it'll be printed on the Warren County Post as well. And if you want to call it up and scroll it on the weekend and say, hey, let's pick somebody to go see tonight, we'd appreciate that very much. So on this Cyber Monday, we're going to sign out of here, and I'll be back tomorrow with Hot Topic Tuesday, and I'll give you a little hint. Tomorrow's Hot Topic Tuesday may get spicy. It's about jealousy. Going to be some stuff going on about jealousy. Hey, jealousy. happening tomorrow on Hot Topic Tuesday with the lovely Karis and your face for radio, me. So join us tomorrow at 5 o'clock. Wednesday with the band, Charlie Bonnet III. You may have heard him open up for Kip Winger at the Bell and the Bear this year and some other folks around the area. Charlie Bonnet's going to join me on Wednesday at noon live right here on Wednesday with the band. We'd love to have you join us then. I've got a couple big events this week, including Mr. Burroughs Tavern on Tuesday night with our Quiztastic Tuesday trivia. We got an all new format doing some music involved in it too. And then if you like the sitcom Friends, I'm bringing you an all Friends trivia Wednesday night, Crooked Handle Brewing in Springboro. That's at 6:30. It's a half hour earlier than our normal start time. And we're going to be bringing you Friends. So one thing I'll say, don't come thinking it's going to be easy questions like what's the name of the coffee shop, on Friends and all that. It's not going to be that. It's going to be for the diehard Friends fanatics. So there'll be some deep tracks thrown in there as well. Gonna have fun with that. Guys, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you all. And until then, it's Monday. You're probably not going out after this long weekend, but if you're not going out tonight to see live music, go to some pages and like those band pages. That's important too, because supporting them on social media and following what they do is very important. Bands or venues. Till tomorrow, as Bill just said, I'll throw it in there, Bill. Till tomorrow, we'll see you next time here at All Around Town Radio. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye-bye for now.
Working for the weekend, then I want to see a show. I flip on the book of face. Yeah, I know where to go. There's a man over there into the music scene, showing lots of love for the community. With great advice, I know who I should go see. So all around town radio show. That's where I go for the latest band info. So all around town radio show for the music that comforts my soul. It's the All Around Town Radio